sure that we're not over capacity here. Welcome to Davis County High School. Okay, that was me. Welcome to Davis County High School. All right. My name is Matt Mason. I'm the principal here, and I'm very fortunate to be the principal because we do have such a great school. Now, here's what I expect from you. Okay? When they are seniors, when we have the senior or junior informational meeting, I expect it to be this full as well. Okay? So, it matters. We have several things to talk to you tonight. We're going to make it as fast as possible because you need to get to your advocate location, which you should have with the informational sheet, and so that they can answer any questions that you have and get that scheduling process underway. Okay? So, it is very important, more now than ever, to be in your student's life. Okay? More than ever. They are exposed to a whole new world compared to what we were exposed to. It's unbelievable. And I always say it's kind of backwards in the education world. When you're in elementary school, everybody's involved and excited. Then it kind of gets a little shady in middle school, and then high school, it's almost like you push them away and say, go to it. You're a big boy or girl, you can handle it. But it should be the other way. This is kind of the end of the road with their public education before they really get going into adulthood. And so we need you here. We need your help in supporting them. All right, these kids need to be surrounded by quality people. Quality people. And you are that quality people. They need you in their life more than ever to help with decisions. I always say there's cookie people, all right, and there's chicken soup people. Cookie people are the ones like when I was a kid, and my dad, some of you might remember Mr. Mason, who was principal down at Davis County Middle School out in College View. He liked to spank me when I got in trouble. Yes. Okay? Yes, and I learned a lot from it. I can tell you, I still feel it today. But there's always somebody there, whether it be your mom or your grandma or your neighbor, that would always say, I feel so bad when you were such a bad boy, but you're so good. Here's your cookie. Right? And then there's chicken soup people. Chicken soup people, if you have a flat tire in the middle of the night, you can call them, and they will be there for you. Also, some of you parents are probably thinking right now, those people also could bail you out of jail. Right? Some of you are saying, I'm going to call some chicken soup people right now. But those are the kind of people that these kids need you. Okay? There's nurturers and there's toxic people. You guys are the nurturers, and we need more of them. All right, now, it's a bargain because we're here to serve you. We are here to serve these students. All the staff that you see around us, over 20% of our staff went to school here. I'm a graduate in 1996. Right? We have a lot of pride and a lot of passion in our school. We're here to help you, to support you, and we are here to serve you. I want to make that clear. Okay, that's very important to us. And we put in a lot of work and a lot of time, but we need your help with that. So, I want to get started with what we have going on tonight. We have several people here that I'm just going to introduce real quick, along with your advocates. I'm not going to go that far because we'll be here for a long time, but here are the people that are going to speak to you tonight that have important information. Now, literally, there's something for everybody in Davis County High School. We have kids on and off campus all day long for various reasons. It's not like the old traditional high school anymore, which is good and bad. They're going to talk to you about that because I still think there's something to be said about being in school, maturity levels, okay, those different types of things. We have plenty to offer here, but we also have kids off campus who can handle being in a college, okay, and being with other adults from ages 18 to 65 or whatever, in college classes, and can handle that. We have internship programs. We have apprenticeship programs. We have mentoring programs. We have over 50 clubs and activities. There is something for everybody. And what we want is for every student, by the time they leave here, to have a personalized plan to prepare you for the next life. Okay? So that goal is to get that diploma, but we don't want to stop there. Right? We want to make sure that these kids go after their goals, and they are prepared to go after them. Whether it be any type of post-secondary training or college or what that is, we want to make sure we're working with you to get your child on the right path and personalize it. Okay? Nobody says that there's a one track for everybody. I think everybody in here, every parent, adult, has changed their minds 100 times, right? Before they left high school, what they want to do and what their dream was, okay? So it's important that we work together to make sure we get them on that right path. So a few things. I think I said there's some things here. Guidance team, if you'll come out here, Kelly Powers, raise your hand. She's part of our guidance team. All right, Tommy Jo Leisner, Neil Hayden, Megan Nicodemus, she's our Frisky coordinator, Trey Pippin, our CCR counselor, Amanda Jerome is our district CCR person. So we have so many people here to support your kids. I want you to know that, but more importantly, I want you to feel that. It's very, very important to us. We want you to feel supported. Anytime you have a question, ask. Don't assume anything, okay? Ask us. We're here for you. We serve you. If you have an issue, we want you to call the teacher. We want you to personalize it. And that's kind of a lost art with kids. We want kids to be able to talk to each other and talk to adults. That's very, very important. And it's kind of a lost art with all the digital tools that we have today. So we want to create the best environment for your child. Welcome. We're going to go ahead and get started. And I'm going to turn it over to Ms. Leisner. Thank you, Ms. Leisner.
Thank you all for coming. We appreciate you being here with us, and we're excited for you all to come join us at Davis County High School. So for tonight, you are going to get to meet with your student's advocate teacher and put a face with the name that you got. Some of you received postcards. If you didn't, we're sorry. I got lost in the mail. But we can help you find your advocate teacher's name afterward if you're not sure who that person is. And we'll also try and direct you to the classroom that you're going to. So an overview, basically tonight, you may be able to schedule some, maybe not, because we do want you to have that time to sit down and talk about it and make your selections carefully. So we have some recommendations put in from middle school based on your child's performance in middle school for the core subjects. So as far as math and foreign language, if your child took one of those in middle school, they have to have an A or a B in order for that to count for high school credit. If they, at the end of the semester, we receive their grade and they've not gotten an A or B, let's say they barely got a C, then they'll have to retake it again next year. So if you see that whenever school starts in the fall, when you pick up the schedule a couple days before school and you see that on there, that's probably why. If you have a question about it, feel free to ask us and we can double check on that. And then the other things, your advocate teachers have scheduling supplies. So they're going to have graduation checklists for you to go through, and they're going to have a 4-year plan for you to kind of write and map out what classes you're considering for your child to take all 4 years of high school. Now, some of you have already looked online, and the handbook is posted online that has all of the courses that we're planning to offer next year, so you can reference that as you're going through and making your selections. So here, and you can see on your PowerPoint too, here's what the graduation checklist looks like. So in order to graduate and receive a diploma, you have to meet these requirements. The requirements on the left, and you'll see a bigger copy of this is your advocate teacher. The requirements on the left side of the page, you'll go through and check out everything that your student, as they meet those requirements. So all the English, all the math, all the science, all the social studies. And then they need so many electives after that for a total of 26 credits. So we'll guide you through that every year. You'll get used to it after this first year. And then this is what the 4-year plan looks like. Again, you're going to see a bigger copy of this when you meet with the advocate teacher. All right, and then Mrs. Powers is going to talk about a basic freshman schedule.
Thank you. Okay, so Ms. Leisner brought your attention to a teeny tiny graduation checklist that's really hard to read on your list, and so we recognize that. You can find that online as well in a much larger font, and your advocate will have that as well to share. So basically that is your student's to-do list in order to get a diploma. So that's like our most important priority right now. Want to also welcome and thank you for coming and being here. We hope that each year when we have this meeting that you'll come back each year and hear what's new, because each year it seems like there's more offerings. And so thank you for being here. We get excited when we see this many parents supporting their child's education. So continue to do that when they're going to be a sophomore and when they're going to be a junior, and especially when they're going to be a senior, because the opportunities continue to grow each year as they go throughout. I say that to kind of let you take a deep breath and be like, it's going to be okay. You really, it's hard to mess up their freshman schedule, okay? So it seems like there's all these options. You're coming from middle school where they didn't really have a lot of say in what they got to take, and now all of a sudden you're having a say. And you're getting to see what the middle school teacher recommends. So I want you to consider that greatly, because that person has spent time in that academic area for an entire year. And they've made a recommendation based on, we go over and meet with them and say, this is what each class requires, and they consider that. However, you know your child best, and your child knows what they're willing to do. So when we look at some classes like the AP Human Geography, that's a social studies option, I spoke with Mr. Easley earlier this week, and he was a little concerned about the few number of students who were recommended for that. So he wanted me to kind of extend or throw a wider net and say, are you sure there's not more students that would be appropriate for that class? Just to give you an idea, this year we have 3 sections, so about 90 freshmen are taking that AP Human Geography class. And that is an advanced placement class that earns your child eventually college credit if they sit for the AP exam in May. So is your kid ready for college material? You know the answer to that or not. You can see what their social studies teacher from this year recommended and consider that. If you have specific questions, you're welcome to contact me as well. But know that that is a rigorous course that will have homework every night. So if your kid's not the type to do an hour of homework for one class a night, then it might not be for you. But if your kid's willing to work hard, they don't have to be the smartest kid in the class. It's more about work ethic than it is about ability. So consider that as well. So when you think about high school or any school, you're going to have English, math, science, and social studies. So you'll have a recommendation from your middle school teachers for each. So with English 1, all freshmen are going to take English 1 CP, English 1 CP Accelerated, which as it sounds moves a little bit faster, or English 1 Pre-AP, which is our fastest track course. So each class in English 1 covers the same material or teaches the same skills. It's just a faster pace. So you, along with your advocate, can decide which one is best for your child. Moving on to social studies, again, the option is Intro to Social Studies, CP or CP Excel, or it jumps to that AP Human Geography. And then science, you have the choice here. So your advocates will help you remember this, but all 9th graders next year will take Intro to Biology for 9 weeks, and then you have a choice, and you can pick, do you want Intro to Chemistry or Intro to Physics? And if you don't know the difference, you can look in that course handbook and read a quick description and make a decision. And it doesn't limit you later on from taking the full course chemistry or full course physics. And if you love science, you can take both. These are 9-week classes, so 9 weeks of biology and then 9 weeks of chemistry or physics creates their full credit requirement for science. Or you can go the AP Environmental Science route. So with that, you're just going to see CP or AP. So those are your choices. What you may have known if you talk, and I know you talk, so you know somebody who's a freshman here right now and they're in that class and this is what they said about it. That's fine, you can listen to them. Some students this year, and we're not sure if we'll be able to offer this, but we hope we can if we have enough students select these 2 classes. They have AP Human Geography and AP Environmental Science all year. So it's essentially 60 students, and so maybe on Monday, Wednesday, Friday this week, I'm in AP Human Geography. It's every other day all year long. So maybe I should backtrack and say our schedule is different than what your student has had in middle school. We have 4 classes a day, and they meet every day, the same ones from August until December. So you're talking about sitting for a longer amount of time. So when you hear your students start talking about it, they'll have 4 classes to keep up with. So students like that in terms of homework because it's easier to stay focused. There's not red, white days, and there's not 7 classes. There's just 4. And then come January when you return, new classes start, and you have the same ones from January to May. So it's something to think about. So when I say that dual, if you sign up for AP Human Geography and AP Environmental Science, that one might be like your second block all year long. And the two teachers that teach that will kind of flip you back and forth between those two subjects. And they've enjoyed that because some of the content kind of overlaps, so they've enjoyed team teaching with that approach. So that's just something to think about as you think about those two classes. Also, we have about 30 students in AP Human Geography that chose not to do AP Environmental Science. That's legal and okay and fine. And then the opposite is true. We have about 30, we have another section that's just AP Environmental Science, and they didn't choose to do the AP Human Geography. So maybe you're like, I just want to try one for my kid for next year, and that's okay. And these will be options that they can take later on as well. So it's not like, if I don't take Mr. Easley's AP Human Geography, I never get to take it. We have some students that are seniors that are taking it this year as well. So maybe it's not yet, but maybe it is for you. So I just want to explain that. Also with math, your math teacher made a recommendation according to what they had this year. So if they're in pre-algebra, they're going into Algebra 1. If they're in Algebra 1, they're going into geometry. A few of you were in geometry, going into Algebra 2, and maybe a handful are coming to pre-cal in 9th grade. So you can look at that recommendation and consider that as well. So that takes care of English, math, social studies, and science. A couple of other requirements for all freshmen are PE and health, and those are 9-week classes, so you'll just put those in, and it's called Fit for Life PE, Fit for Life Health. And then the other one is digital literacy. And these are just graduation requirements that we strongly encourage them to take their freshman year. So that's what a typical freshman schedule should look like. You should have English, math, science, social studies, PE, health, digital literacy, and then you can consider electives. We consider foreign language an elective, so some of your students are taking Spanish 1 right now. If they finish with an ARB, they can request Spanish 2 and assume they're going to be successful, or they can request, if you never sat for it yet, you can request Spanish 1, French 1, Latin 1. Those are all foreign languages that you might be able to request. And I'm going to turn this back over to Ms. Leisner because she's going to talk more about the electives.
Okay, so as far as electives go, once you have the core classes, then you get to pick electives to fill in the rest of your schedule. We have several different types of electives. We're very fortunate in that, so your child can explore a variety of different career pathways to kind of determine what their interests are. So some of those bigger pathways are agriculture. We have several agriculture type classes like landscaping. We have some shop type classes, art, so painting, drawing, sculpture, business type classes, accounting, finance, family and consumer sciences like child development or foods and nutrition. We also have extra PE classes, so aside from the Fit for Life PE, that's the freshman graduation requirement, we also have some weights classes and some regular boys PE and girls PE, if your student is really interested in PE. And then we have technology, so computer type classes, if your student is really interested in computers and programming and web page development, those sorts of things. A lot of these electives, some of them are 9 weeks classes, some of them are a semester-long class, and then the ones at the bottom of the PowerPoint, those are a year-long class. So that's going to fill 2 blocks whenever you're planning the year. And some of those longer classes can count for some of the freshman requirements. Like band, if you have band the whole year, can count for the PE graduation requirement. Also the arts and humanities, so you have to have a full credit of art or performing arts type classes. So band or choir or orchestra can meet that if you have that for the full year. ROTC, if you're interested in ROTC or the military, that one can count for PE and health credits. And then we also have community campus, which Mr. Rome is going to talk a little bit more about. If you do Life Science Academy, that could meet the freshman health requirement. If you do Engineering Academy, that could meet the digital literacy requirement. So you wouldn't have to take community campus and digital literacy. That would kind of check that box on the graduation checklist. And then Mr. Rome is going to talk about some of our college options.
Good evening. We're glad that you're here tonight. I'm Amanda Jerome, and this is Trey Pittman. I work for the Board of Education as the district level college and career readiness coordinator and director of community campus. And I work with Mr. Pittman, who is actually stationed here in this building, and he's the college and career coach here. We work very closely together. We have one of the largest dual credit programs in the state of Kentucky, so that keeps us very busy. Dual credit is college credit that students earn in high school. And we actually have two programs that students who are 8th graders coming into their freshman year of high school can choose to be a part of if they have appropriate ACT scores and apply for acceptance to the programs. Mr. Pittman's office is located right down the hall from the guidance office, and tonight we'll have some papers available if you so choose, and if you have not attended one of our 8th grade parent nights or one of the expo events that we've hosted. The two options that are open to students who are coming into their freshman year are the Engineering Academy, which actually meets at Apollo High School. We have lots of students who participate from Davis County High School. They come over to Apollo and take those classes for college credit. You actually have to have a 17 composite on the ACT for that program. So if your student is super interested, I would suggest getting signed up for an ACT. There'll be one in April and one in June as well that you can take to apply for that program. The information that I'm talking about tonight is actually on this document. It's a two-sided document, and it has a Kids First emblem at the top right-hand corner. And as I said, that will be outside of Mr. Pittman's room tonight, so you can certainly stop by and grab one if this is the first you're hearing of this information. My email is on this document, and you can always email Mr. Pittman here at the school. Our other program is called the Life Science Academy, and it actually meets at OCPC's main campus. It's for students who are interested in healthcare or biomedical science, and you can earn college credit in that program as well. The ACT benchmark that students need to enter that program is an 18. And so we do have online applications for both programs that will be open through June 1st. And then after June 1st, we will shut those down. Students who take the ACT will need to send their ACT scores to me so that I can see those. And that's for verification purposes because our courses are backed by OCTC for the dual credit part of things. So we'd be very happy to talk to you more about dual credit. We have lots of other opportunities besides the Life Science Academy and engineering as your student goes on through high school. One other program that I will mention that's growing in popularity is a great program. It's for students who would like to earn their associate's degree simultaneously with their high school diploma. It's called Early College Academy. It's for students who would be entering their junior year of high school, so your students have a couple years to think about this. But we would recommend that if your student is pretty set on Early College Academy and kind of already knows that's the direction they want to head, we'd ask that you go ahead and get as many of those high school graduation requirements out of the way. It really is better that students who enter Early College Academy have already completed Algebra 2, and so that they've already done that. We also like other subjects to be completed, such as U.S. history, biology, and things like that, but those are not as necessary as having completed the Algebra 2. I'm going to turn it over to Mr. Pittman. He's going to share a little bit more about our dual credit program with you.
Hi, everybody. Real quickly, let me ask you, how many of you went to Davis County High School? How many of you went to high school? So this is cool because here's what I want you to know. The way we're doing high school now is totally different. Well, not totally different, but it's changing in ways that you're not familiar with. I graduated from here 10 years ago, and the opportunities that we are giving our students are mind-boggling. Mr. Jerome talked to me just a minute ago. We looked at each other and said, we're going to tell parents this stuff for the very first time. And we get a little excited about that because it's really neat. So whether your student is going to be a student who is college-bound or whether they're a student who's going to be career-bound, we are working to make pathways for them where they're prepared when they leave Davis County High School. Just today, we were touring local manufacturers to try to see opportunities for our students. Again, I want all of you to know that we have a lot of students who are really dead set on the college route, but we have also some students that maybe aren't cut out for college. So I want you to know as parents that we have programs for them, and we're working really hard to make pathways for them. Owensboro Community and Technical College. Let's talk about the college side for a second. To echo what Mr. Jerome said, we have one of the largest dual credit programs in the state of Kentucky. And just to reinforce something else that she she said, we are offering students the opportunity to graduate from high school with a 2-year associate's degree from OCTC at the same time. This is incredible. Recently, I was on Facebook and I was looking, you know how you see those things like clickbait things, like this person jumps off the Hoover Dam and lands in a 2-liter bottle. They just want you to click it. One of them said, the biggest scams that I ever got away with. So naturally, I clicked it. I wanted to see what it said. And there was a story on there where a girl had convinced her guidance counselor to allow her to take college classes while she was still in high school and she graduated with an associate's degree. We do that here. It's not a scam. It's a real story. So as your students move forward in Davis County High School, it's a great chance for them to get some of those college hours knocked out and really get a head start on college. So we do encourage our students to take the ACT. We want them to meet their college and career readiness, transition ready benchmark scores, which are an 18 in English, a 19 in math, and a 20 in reading. So it's never too early to go ahead and get started on that ACT. But to talk about the career side, we also offer technical programs for our students that are interested in obtaining a technical certification. So whether your student maybe wants to go into welding, or they want to be an automotive technician, or they're interested in early childhood education, we have chances for them to be enrolled in those technical programs while they're still here in high school. We're really proud of this stuff. And as your student gets a little bit older, we'll start talking more and more about this. But here's what I want you to know. We have great programs for all of your students. I'm here to help with next step planning. And I know it seems like a long way away because they're 8th graders right now. It's not that far away. So please reach out to us, use us, utilize us, and make sure that you're getting the best experience for your student and making sure that they're ready when they branch out of Davis County High School. So with that, we're going to turn it over to Mr. Neil Hayden. I hope when he comes up here, everyone will give him a thunderous round of applause. Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Neil Hayden.
Hey, welcome everybody. Welcome to Davis County High School. Hope that's something that's exciting. I know you've already heard it, but I want to say it myself. Welcome to Davis County High. I think you're at a great school. I want to just talk to you about a couple things. You've heard a lot of information. I'm going to go through 2 slides with you. We have 2 types of diplomas that you have to choose from. You do not have to declare at any point that you are going to choose a college prep diploma or an honors diploma. But let me tell you what the honors diploma is all about. It's the same as far as the number of credits as the college prep, which is 26 to graduate. The difference is this. To receive an honors diploma, you need 5 AP classes. And you need to at least test in 3 of those. And you need to have 3 years of foreign language in the same content area. So if you took Spanish 1, you would need to take 3 Spanish classes in order for that to count. As the AP coordinator, we have over 20 AP classes that we offer here at Davis County High. We have hundreds of tests or exams that students take in May, and our teachers do an amazing job. So the choice that you'll have to choose between, and Ms. Powers touched on this a little bit, is if you want to choose between the dual credit hours that Mr. Pippen talked about, or do you want to try to receive AP credit and possibly college hours with that qualifying score. But again, 2 types of diplomas. Neither are wrong. And you don't, again, as a freshman, you don't have to declare at any point. Some students wait till their junior year just to try out an AP class. Doesn't ever mean that you're married to that type of diploma. But it's a great opportunity for your student here at Davis County High. Last thing to talk to you about is scheduling timeline. So what to expect, what is the timeline when you finally know what classes you have and when to start. Right now, recommendations have been made by the middle school teachers. You'll meet with your advocate tonight. Course requests will be taking place over this next month or so. Schedule pickup and finding out what you actually have for your child will happen the week before school starts. I believe, if I remember right, August 7th is when we come to school for next school year. So you'll find out that week before. So there'll be some time between putting in your request and then actually finding out what courses have been assigned to your child. Freshman orientation. That's a chance where during the day that the students will come here, walk their schedule, find out what their schedule is, and meet their teachers. It's a fun day that Freshman Academy takes a part of, would really encourage you to send your child to that orientation. The schedule changes. We've been doing it this way for the last couple of years. We put it out, a paper copy for students right now what changes they would like to have made to their schedule. As Ms. Powers said earlier, there's not a whole lot of wiggle room that freshman year because there's so much that's required, but there is some room for electives. So we have just a course request for schedule change paper that we set out. We'll fill that out. You'll have a chance to do that on the freshman orientation day. And then we do schedule changes those first 5 days, that first week of school. So a lot of information to take into account. Use your advocate, use your guidance counselors to help you with that as you go throughout these 4 years. But again, welcome to Davis County High. Just basically going to take it over.
Hey, just a couple of reminders before we get going. Coach Brandon's advocate group. If you have Coach Brandon, Matt Brandon, make sure that you stay in here. Coach Sandifer over here is going to meet with that advocate group as well. He's not able to attend tonight. I know Barry DeVille is not here tonight. He will be contacting all his advocates. I do want to introduce Mr. Howard. Raise your hand. He's one assistant principal. Mr. Blue, raise your hand. He's another. Both those guys have been here for a long, long time, and they know the ins and outs of the schools just as much as I know them. Mr. Powers is not here tonight. He's also an assistant principal. We're at the point where, you've got a lot of information that's just been thrown at you. Okay? A lot of important information. And we know there's things that's not for everybody. Okay? It's not for everybody. But I'll tell you this, we are a progressive school. We will change when we need to change, and if it doesn't work, we'll learn from it, move on, and try something different. That's what we're all about. We're not a traditional type of high school where you come in and you sit in rows, and you sit there and you listen for 84 minutes. That's not how it works. We're going to keep you engaged. We're going to keep your child engaged. We're going to challenge them and prepare them, because this 4 years will fly by. You will blink. Some of you I've seen a couple times. You know this. You blink and they are gone. Let's make the most of it. Let's work together and let's have a great 4 years. So, last thing I want you to do, if you will just do me this one favor, you don't have to participate, but my dad, who I love and respect, who's an educator, he always wants to be involved in education. He always asks me, how did your freshman parent meeting go? So if you'll do this for me, if you'll stand up before we dismiss, okay, just stand up for me. I want to get those joints moving a little bit. Listen up. A couple of things. Freshman orientation, we will go into much, much more detail about what we got going on. Tonight's about scheduling. Okay, so I expect to see everybody here during freshman orientation the first week before school starts. If you see a student, an upperclassman with a red shirt on, they're posted everywhere. You don't know where you're going, ask them. So when I count to 3, and I'll tell you why I'm doing this in just a second. When I count to 3, I just want you to raise your hands and yell hallelujah. Ready? 1,